Hello, my good little friends. How are you doing today? This is Bloons Monkey City, and I wanted to go over contested territory today, which is a very, very cool and interesting thing in Bloons Monkey City. Sadly, first off, that it really hasn't come out yet, so I think that's the biggest problem. It came out for like a day or two, and then they realized, oh, really, we kind of have some problems. So fight against 5 other cities to reach the highest round in your territory and get city cash to help your city grow. Hold that territory for the longest time of the week, at least 24 hours, and then you will be the winner of that territory. So this is kind of interesting. You battle 5 people over the course of those few days, and if you hold it for 24 hours, you win. Now, there is a couple problems with it, and I personally would say that it's not perfect yet. Of course, they're working out the bugs. They're going to make it as fun as possible for the future, but let me tell you my concerns so far. What I've noticed is that it seems a little bit easy. Now, I'm playing on one of the harder maps. This is a hills terrain, and I just imagine if this was on like a really, really easy map, you could see how if I can get to a high round, then people on those really, really easy maps are probably going to get to a really, really high round really, really easily, and then it really just becomes who has the most time. Do you have time to play a game up to level 300 for 5 hours? Maybe you do, and then maybe you're going to win because of that. And that just makes it a little bit sad. It takes away the skill factor involved and just gives it to whoever has the most time, which is not usually the best way you want to do things. So keeping that in mind, yes, I'm not saying that people are going to get to level 300 in Bloons Monkey City all the time. I'm just saying that I do think it's definitely a possibility, especially if somebody has temples already and they're willing to go and do their very best farming and just on their first try just keep on going and going and going and then do amazing. And then I can definitely see it happening. I could definitely see it happening. Other than that, though, it is a pretty darn interesting idea. I think adding the ability to fight other people in Bloons Monkey City, besides just monkey v monkeys, definitely adds a whole new aspect to the game that we are going to love, my friends. We are going to love this. We want to battle our friends. We want to see who's the best out of all of us. Can I beat you? Can we beat each other? Maybe, who knows? And also, I know it's like, you know, well, we can't make it the exact same thing as battles. That would just be kind of lame, right? We can't just battle each other because that's a different game. That's not Bloons Monkey City. It has nothing to do with our city then if we have it involved in battles. So we have to kind of try and keep these things kind of interesting. I do think that maybe adding some sort of battles factor involved with that would be kind of interesting, actually. I would kind of like to see that. I just don't really think it's possible with the way that Bloons Monkey City works. I don't really think it's going to work, especially because a lot of the levels aren't those types of levels where you can just, you know, battle somebody, like half-screen it or something like that. It just doesn't work that way. So first off, you're noticing that I'm already on round 16, and it's only been 3 minutes into this game. Oh my goodness. I also sped this up to about 2 times speed, so keep that in mind. That might make it seem like it's going a lot faster than what it really is, but I'm farming quite a bit. I've got a really nice ninja. I've got a really nice defense. I know that attack shooters are really, really easy to use on this level, and you can use them very effectively and make sure you rock those balloons. You're going to start rocking them like non-stop action. Overall, I do think I did a very good job on this map. I noticed that the other people that I was trying to battle had, like, very, very low rounds that they got to. I had one guy who got to level, like, 10, another guy got to level, like, 16 or something, and then another guy got to level, like, 28. And I was like, really? 27, maybe? And I was like, wow, so I'll have to get to level 27. I can see where that might be a little bit difficult, because you can tell these MOABs and stuff are getting a little bit difficult, but also I have a lot of farms going for me, and I really haven't been going crazy with some really, really nice towers yet. Once I get my Arctic Wind up, once I get some really cool towers, it's going to be a complete game changer. So I actually decided to go for a monkey village here, a 0-2 monkey village, instead of going for those other things. And I decided, you know what, my balloon popping power seems to be the worst thing that I have right now, so I'm going to go with a bunch of Ring of Fires. Again, they're cheap, so why the heck not use them for balloon popping power? And if you get them in the right spots, oh my goodness gracious, you're going to get delicious amounts of balloons. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the music in the background. I know I picked kind of some epic music here. I just kind of picked some random music that I have in my arsenal of music that I downloaded from newgrounds.com. I usually use newgrounds.com as my way of getting music to you guys. And I had this guy named, I don't really know how to pronounce it, but it's Devastus, or like Devastus, or something like that. And he makes some pretty sweet stuff. He makes some really epic music. I use him a lot of times in my random mod series and stuff. Also, this guy named Peter Cetera, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He makes some really sweet stuff that I use almost all the time in my my videos as well. There's a couple of guys that I just really, really trust to make awesome, epic music, and I love it, guys. I absolutely do. I'm surprised that they haven't gotten any of their music in, like, actual movies or something, you know, or like an actual trailer or something, because I really do think this music is very, very well made, very, very good. So already on round 26, we're starting to get our ice tower up. Once we get that Arctic Wind, I'm going to feel so much safer. It's just going to be a spam of whatever sort of MOAB popping power we can get. So yeah, technically we just beat it. We technically hold the monkey territory right now, so we just have to keep on holding that monkey territory. Hold it for as long as possible, and then we'll get tons and tons of money and all that good stuff. So as far as the contested territory and when it's supposed to come back, because you guys know it's been canceled for the meantime because they've been having server issues and things like that. It wasn't really that there was very many problems with it itself, it was just the fact that it was messing with the servers and it didn't work out that way. So that's why they canceled it, and they needed to I was told that it was going to come back this week sometime. So probably some sort... Actually, no. It wasn't this week. It was next week. I was told it was going to come back next week sometime. Hopefully, you know, maybe Monday or Tuesday or something like that. That would be an awesome time to do that. Now, we do have some early Oh My Gods. I mean, we're really not used to, you know, crazy amounts of Oh My Gods coming out right around level 30. Actually, we kind of are. Actually, we are. Now, think about it. Kentucky City has a lot of Oh My Gods, but maybe not this many. Maybe not this many Oh My Gods coming out so quickly. But still, at the same time, it should be tough like that, right, guys? Absolutely, it should be. I'm farming quite a bit. But overall, we're doing fantastic versus these Bloons, and we really can't complain at all. Now, I can't say the one weak thing about my city is that I really haven't gotten very many low-level towers, so I really haven't gotten a lot of standard ability to build towers. You know, I only got built like 9 cannons out of my ability to build like 20 of them, and I really only got 5 taxators when I could really build like 20 of them. So, realistically, if I wanted to, I could do pretty darn swell in these games. Abso-freaking-lutely, I could do really, really swell. I just sadly haven't been doing that stuff, because I really didn't know that this contested territory thing was going to pop up and be a problem for me. But, as you can tell, these Bloons are getting pretty darn ridiculous. Also, they were saying that the reason why they took it down was the lag factor. Now, my computer is running this okay, but I feel like if this wasn't contested territory, I probably wouldn't be lagging almost at all. Maybe just a tiny itty-bitty bit, but it's definitely a lot worse than it should be. And I can only imagine by the time we get to around 300 or something, it's just going to get that much more worse. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. I got a pretty nice defense going for me. I got pretty much all my MOAB Maulers up by now. That's going to deal with all these MOABs and stuff. But actually, surprisingly enough, my Roboplasma has been able to demolish those Oh My God layers. And that's all we really need to do is as soon as we get rid of those Oh My God layers, the Bloons are no issue because I got an Arctic Wind up there. And if you really, 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 really are afraid, one of the best things you can probably do is get some sort of ice shards. Now, this might make your game almost, like, break. And that's probably the biggest deal with the ice shards is that it does, like, almost pause your game, which is not good for it at all. It might make it shut itself down just because it's so much happening all at once. But at the same time, if it did run perfectly and it ran perfectly smooth like you would want it to, ice shards would be amazing right here. Because you got lots of solid Bloon, gigantic layers of Bloons all next to each other. If you just exploded them all at once, it would be all epic. Also, don't forget about maybe using some sort of ice shards next to the Zoma, next to like the beginning here. And I know that sounds a little bit funky and weird. You might be thinking, why the heck would you use ice shards near the front? Well, if you got MOABs or BFBs that are going to pop out of here, what you can do is you can have the ice shards actually pop the ceramics and have them explode the ceramics into the MOABs and into the Oh My Gods, and that would cause a lot of damage to them. Definitely not something that you want to do all the time, but definitely is something you could do if you wanted to. So you're noticing still my Oh My God popping power is probably my biggest issue, so I'm just going to get anything I can to get Oh My God popping power. But the glue gunner is doing just plain epic job, and my Ring of Fires are also surprisingly damaging a lot of these guys, so I'm really not worried too much. Really, I'm not worried too much at all. One thing that I have been working on is my individual tower series. So I've kind of been trying to stockpile some of these videos for you guys, just in case I ever have a day where I'm really, really busy, which does tend to happen quite often. And I want to know, what do you guys want to hear in this individual tower series? What I've been doing is I've been starting off with you know, like the hotkey and just telling you guys that it is my opinion. This is not actual all 100% factual information. Obviously, BTD5 can be an opinionated game. You know, when should you use this tower? When should you not use it? You know, obviously, I think I'm a pretty darn good player, and I think I understand the game pretty well to be able to tell you guys things like that. But that's what I start off with, and then I tell you guys all of the upgrades and how effective I think they are, when you use them, and how you should use them in combination with the other upgrades of each other. You know, for example, you never want to get a 0-3 glue gunner. You always want to get a 2-3 glue gunner. 0-3 glue gunner just doesn't make sense. You want to get the corrosive glue on there to make sure you're going to get some pops out of that stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to be almost a worthless upgrade. You're never going to be able to glue them all. Never, ever, ever. And as soon as they pop, they're just going to be unglued, so it's going to be terrible. You want to get a 2-3 glue gunner. Just that's a quick example. Obviously, if you get a 4th tier ninja, you want to get a 4-2 ninja, something like that. But that's what I've been talking about in my individual tower series videos, and that's pretty much all I do. I also talk about a little bit about where I would place them. You know, for example, if I get a certain tower, I would put it in a certain place. If I have a glue gunner, I usually put them sort of near the middle of the map. If I have a spike factory, I usually put them near the edge of the map. And if I have MOAB Maulers, I usually put them in the front of the map. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you guys want to hear anything in particular, let me know in the comments. Now, obviously, I've already started this series, and I can't go back and remake videos, but I could at least try and remedy some issues that you guys might want to hear about or something like that in future series. I've only made about 6 videos so far, so maybe I can get some more of those done for you guys. So now what you're noticing is some of these levels are not really getting very much harder. Like, you got a couple Zoma Gods coming out in here, but it really doesn't seem like it's getting very tough at all. I mean, we are just taking out a couple Zoma Gods. It is a little bit laggy, of course. I understand, lag-tastic sometimes, but we got to deal with that a little bit if you really do want to do a delicious job against these stupid little Bloons here. So I decided to try and mitigate some of the lag by getting rid of some of the Bloons, and I think the best way to do that is usually with a Spectre. But sadly enough, I put it in the wrong spot, and since money isn't really a big issue for me, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll sell it, and I'll just get rid of whatever the heck I think I don't need, and get a Spectre up here. In fact, what would be kind of cool to use is maybe some sort of ground zero action. I don't have a ground zero yet, but I could definitely see myself doing that in the future. And we got tons of Bloons trying to leak on through here. Oh my goodness gracious, they're actually getting pretty darn far, right? Yeah, I'm actually a little bit scared, but sadly enough, or good enough for us, that we beat it very easily, actually. I was expecting Bloons to get all the way to the very end or something like that, but nope, it didn't happen at all. And we're getting even more money. Now you're noticing our money is actually going up pretty quickly. I mean, even though this is on 2x speed, I completely understand that. It's going up pretty quickly, and I also got a 2-4 ninja here, which I can use or actually not a 2-4 ninja yet, but I wanted to get a 2-4 ninja, and I sadly enough couldn't get it because I didn't have the upgrade unlocked yet. Oh, so sad. Oh, so sad. But you're noticing that it looks like these MOABs are going to leak through every single time, but they just don't. And I understand that you guys might be thinking, like, Chris, you could not make it to level 300. You're overestimating your abilities, for sure. Maybe I am, that's okay, but I'm not overestimating the abilities of some players to maybe get on a lucky map, farm like crazy, get the temple up, and then as soon as you get one temple up, you could just save all your money and get another temple up really darn quick. It's not impossible. And if you got a couple temples up in here, I think you're going to get pretty darn far, absolutely. There's no reason why you can't get really far. Especially on those easier levels. Like, I don't know if you can play contested territory on something like that flower level, but maybe you can, and maybe it's going to be ridiculously easy. Yeah. I hope not, but definitely something that could happen. Anyways, we're getting pretty darn far here. We're almost at level 50 already, and what I'm thinking is that as soon as we get to level 50, I'm just going to quit the game. I don't really want to play beyond that level. I actually showed you guys in the beginning of the level, at the beginning of this video, I actually showed you the end of the video first, because I wanted to show you guys what this contested territory actually was, and sadly enough, when I started my video, I didn't see what contested territory was. I was going to go back and just re-edit it or resave it, or re-record or anything that I needed to do, and then they shut it down, so I couldn't go back and do that, which was kind of sad. And this is a post-commentary because of the lag, mainly. Mainly the lag just caused me a little bit of problems. I didn't want to make a really crappy video for you guys. I wanted to make it kind of reasonable. Kind of reasonable, at least. So here we go, we got a bunch of Zoma Gods still coming out. It looks like we're just doing an amazing job, my friends. We're like having almost no issues at all. The Spectre's just taking on the Bloons so fast, and the MOAB Maulers are just doing a delicious job versus these Zoma Gods. The Zoma Gods are doing almost nothing. And it does not seem like the Zoma Gods are getting very much harder throughout the map. They really don't. I don't know why. They just don't seem like they're getting much harder. Normally, by the time you get to this round, 20 levels after Zoma Gods start coming out, they start to get tough, but no, not really. Not really at all. I think maybe they should increase the difficulty that much faster, so it doesn't take how much time you can play, but it actually takes how much skill you have. I want it to be a skill-based game, and that's the best way I think we can end up doing this. Now, I do have 2 Spectres, which is pretty darn ridiculous, and I'm like, you know what? Screw this game. I already beat level 50. I don't even want to play this level anymore. I'm just going to get rid of all my towers. I'm going to sell it, I'm going to lose it, and it's going to be just kind of fun. And I don't know, I mean, I had fun, but 50 is pretty much all I have time for. This actually took me about 30 minutes to play, 35 minutes to play, and that's all I'm going to do for you guys today. So hopefully this is going to show you guys how to play contested territory, how to have fun doing it, and maybe if you guys like it, you can start playing it pretty darn soon. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a super duper delicious day. Hey there guys, I'm Super John Bumbo, also known as Chris. Hopefully you enjoyed the videos. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like, or favorite any of them that you want to. Also, we've got a bunch of other cool videos here if you want to check them out. We got just a random video, we got Bloons Monkey City, or if you want to check out random mod series, those are personally my favorite videos to make. Also, we got a new channel here called Super Science, so if you haven't checked out any of my science videos and you just want to learn something, go ahead and check that out. Thanks for watching guys, and have a super duper delicious day.